Live here at Carrabba's Italian Grill at the Fayetteville Town Center. Welcome. It's the final show of this basketball season. And welcome to those who are getting the notifications here on QSportsTalk.com in the stream chat. If you want to say hi to the coach and wish the team well, ask some questions. That's what we're here for. And it's just a fun way that we've been enjoying the last half hour or so of the show here live at Carrabba's Italian Grill at the Fayetteville Town Center. And a lot of folks just popping in to say hi. Let me see you right out of the box. Matt wants to know, Coach, any thoughts on Pistol Pete's record about to be broken?
Well, it's a little sad. The kid's a good player that's doing it, but it's his fifth year. It took him 5 years. Pistol did it in 3. I think he averaged 44 a game. But, it's good. It's an accomplishment. Pistol Pete I saw him play, and you had to see him kind of to believe that he was an unbelievable player to watch. Offensively, he did everything. He was 6'5" or 6". He could handle it. He was great fun to watch.
And no three-point line.
No three-point line. 3 years, no three-point line. If he played 5 years of college, he would have scored 6,000 points or whatever.
So that's one of those records that the guy who breaks it should be in almost a different category where or an asterisk maybe or something.
Well, he averaged 44 points a game in college. Nobody's going to do that ever.
And what year was it that? Because at that point, freshmen couldn't play. And what year did that change? Like there was freshman ball, and then you could play.
I think it changed. I'm
just out of curiosity.
I started in '75, and I think freshmen probably didn't play. But it was pretty close to that, 75, 6, and that's when I think freshmen started to play. And no, it was before that, I think so. I should know, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
A lot of the questions popping in here in the stream chat, Coach. And we talked in the first half hour, and I know last hour, too, with Matt Park, it came up because that's just what people are thinking right now. And a lot of it you just don't know the answers to as far as what players on a team right now are going to be doing next year or what their plans are. You don't really know that.
I have no idea. I mean, it's absolutely... just really no idea of what people are thinking, and when you can transfer and play right away and you're not playing a lot, it's going to be in your mind to maybe I can play, and sometimes you go over there and you don't play as much. I mean, that can happen too, but that's something that's always kind of in kids' minds.
A lot of questions coming in, so I'll try to get to they go down and zip so fast I got to scroll back on through. Which is good, and again, thanks to everybody who is joining us here tonight. So wants to know how's the new place coming?
I haven't even been there. I'm waiting until summer probably. It's a nice place, and I've never had a house on a lake, and I like to fish, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting out there.
Because you hadn't that comes up every year too about fishing. You said last year you didn't even have a chance to go.
I think I went once, maybe once or twice. Yeah.
This one from Steve. He says, I wish Niagara and LSU had played when Calvin Murphy and Pistol Pete played there.
Yeah, we played against Calvin. He was exciting, too. Really unbelievable. I think he had 63 against us. And I think we held him to 13 or something once. I think we held him to his low and his high, maybe.
Question regarding Saturday and the weekend with the 03 team coming back. Will any of the guys who are like grad assistants and coaches on the 03 team be in town for the festivities?
Yeah, Clay McKnight's here from California, was a volunteer with us and grad assistant in the program. And there'll be a lot of the walk-ons are coming back. And I'm sure some of the managers as well.
This one here, thoughts on Greensboro changed from when we entered the ACC.
I like Greensboro. It's a good place for the tournament. It's a quiet town. It's easy to get around. So yeah, it's a good place.
Today's the anniversary, Coach. I guess talking about Pistol Pete made me think of it, but it's an NBA event happened on this day in 1961. It's the game that Wilt Chamberlain had 100 points.
Wow. That was some game, I can tell you that. It's hard to do that. It's hard to score 100 points.
And I think, as I recall, it was not videotaped. There's no record.
I don't think there's a film. I don't think there's any film of it. It was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I think they played the game. And everybody thinks they were there, says they were there, but it was a couple thousand people probably.
Let me see here. This is a question, Coach. SU fans pine for the days of the nationally ranked teams, in the such. Have the circumstances of the program and of college basketball in general changed so much that the expectations aren't going to be the same as what they were?
Well, I think our expectations are always high, and we just haven't met them. And we've luckily had success in the tournament, but we haven't had a ranked team, and that's obviously what everybody wants. The fans want. It is difficult to do, but certainly we would obviously like to be better than we have been and that we are now.
How about favorite memories from the 2003 team? Obviously, other than the win itself.
Well, just the journey. We started out and lost our first game in the Garden to, I think, Memphis, and I think Carmelo had 29 and Jerry had 27, and we still lost. So it wasn't a good start. And then we got going, won some games, and, pretty solid, but not great. And then we lost at Rutgers, and it was just like we needed to change this around. And we did, turned it around, and won at Michigan State and at Notre Dame, two really good teams. And that kind of gave us some confidence. And then we just got in the tournament and didn't play great. And beat Manhattan in the first round, really kind of struggled with them. And then Oklahoma State had us down 23 to 8. Something like that, and we came back and won, and then we won against Auburn, and then we had an easy game and beat Oklahoma. So it was the whole season was just a lot of fun.
This one from Hey Dog. Coach just received Bleed Orange as a gift for his dad. Was just wondering what inspired you to write that book.
I just wanted to do it. I had a great writer, Jack McCallum, who worked for Sports Illustrated for 30 years, was their #1 basketball writer, and has written many books. Wanted to do the book with me, and so we did it over the course of a year, and it turned out great. Couldn't have been happier with it.
Let me see here. With the current changes, a golf question for you, Coach. With the changes the PGA is making for the majors, do you think they're trying to reach a happy medium of what?
Well, you have to have everybody that's good in the majors. I don't care what the point system is. You have to figure out how to get the best players in the majors, or you don't have majors. And then long range, they'll probably figure out how they can work this thing out and there can be 2 tours, there can be 2 competing tours, and at the end of the year, every year you could have an unbelievable playoff for competition with the best players in both leagues, and it'd be great. It'd be great TV, and it'd be fun to watch. But eventually, if they have the money, if they keep the money coming, which I think they can, it'll work. If they run out of money, then that'll fail. They're not going to make any money for years. But at the rate they're spending, I think they can keep doing that. They'll make it successful. They've already helped the PGA members. They've increased the purses huge. They've made a huge impact on NBA players, on the PGA players. They should be very, very happy that the Live Tour came about, because they've added more than $100 million to the purses. And it's been good for the Live guys that went over there. A lot of them are older. They weren't going to win a lot more money, and they collected a lot of money. So I think it's been good.
Let's see this question here. Coach Devo said on his show today that he's going to have a shot of Pepsi with you, or is it Coke? They forgot. At the game on Saturday.
Yeah, Pepsi's good. Pepsi. I like Coke too.
Whoops. Getting spam phone calls.
Not surprising.
No. Will our source wants to know, will every member of the 03 team be there on Saturday?
I don't know if everybody. I think Craig Forth has to go someplace. He had a commitment. I think you never know with these things, but I think everybody will be there.
Let me see. We're scrolling through again. Thanks for all the questions, but they're coming in so fast. I got to kind of scroll back to try to get as many as we can. What does Coach think of Detroit Mercy basketball's Antoine Davis and
It's a great accomplishment to break Pete Maravich's record, but it's been 5 years versus 3, and probably 150 games versus probably about 75 or something. So, yeah, I mean, Pete Maravich averages 44 points a game. I mean, that's never going to be done. But it's still a great accomplishment. I think they're playing the best team in the league tonight or this week, and then they have one tournament game. I think he's got to get, 27, 25, something like that. I don't know what it is, but everybody will probably try to stop him.
This one here, do you know how Raf Addison is doing?
He's doing great. He's sells real estate. He teaches. He's got his real estate license when he left here. He's just really doing well. Really one of the great guys we've ever had here. A great player, but great guy, leader in his community. One of the best.
The question here, do you find it more difficult or is it more challenging to relate and communicate with players now as opposed to earlier in your career?
Same. It's exactly the same. They want to win. They want to, they want to go to the NBA, everything. I think years ago, players were probably a little bit more patient and, not wanting to go to the NBA in 2 weeks, but that's the only difference.
Do you have, what does Coach think of the Ben DiNucci in the XFL?
The XFL?
Yeah.
Ben DiNucci. Isn't he a local guy, I thought? I don't know. But the XFL, I haven't watched it, but people love football. But the NFL is a monster to overcome.
And they've tried it, the XFL and World Football and other leagues opposite, or after the end. None of them really. No. That's a long season. I think by the time the Super Bowl.
Well, the NFL is so high and so above anything that everything's going to pale in comparison, and people are going to put everything they have into the NFL. That's my guess, but we'll see.
This question here, how often do you have to communicate with players via phone and social media? Is that different? Well, it's got to be a little bit. I mean, from earlier in your career when that stuff wasn't around. But.
Yeah, you text people more in recruiting. There's more texting than there used to be.
And as Jen points out, just had 3 kids graduate from college, so you're tech savvy with your.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been texting for a while now. I know the emojis and everything.
See, Cam says, please tell Coach, don't listen to the outside noise, no matter what happens. So many people are supporting you, and obviously everything you and Julie have done for the community here in your entire career, not just coaching.
Well, I think hopefully everybody even the nastiest critics realize that we've tried to do good things in the community. I hope, and if they don't, then you feel sorry for them. But when you lose, it's part of the job. People are not going to be happy, and I understand that better than anybody. And when we were winning, there were people that weren't happy. So when you lose, there's just a lot more people that are unhappy, and you just have to do the best you can, get ready, and go. We all face that in life. You face challenges and negativism, where people are going to question everything. It's kind of a negative world a little bit. People want to be negative more than they want to be positive. And, it's just the way it is. It's, you have to face that and realize that you do the best you can. And if you do that, at the end of the day, people wonder, well, how do you feel about this? Well, I did the best I could. That's all you can do. So you feel good about it. And if you have 6 really good years and 1 or 2 bad, you have to live with that.
See, this question here, somebody wanted to know if you could have a couple of thoughts on Jerry and Hakeem for Saturday, and then who might be next down the road to have?
That's a good
jerseys?
question. I know that these guys deserve it. They're both All-Americans. They both won a national championship. And they're, great people. You couldn't ask for better people. They weren't highly recruited, highly rated out of high school. Hakeem was way down the list. Jerry was quite a bit down the list as well. But they turned into great players and All-Americans and really deserve this. I haven't even looked at the future as to who would be up there in terms of retired jerseys, but I think there will be some guys that come along. We've hit a lot of them that should be up there, but I think there will be some more.
Let's see, Matt wants to know, who's your favorite Syracuse sports radio talk show host?
I don't listen to radio shows anymore. I haven't.
Paulie.
Oh yeah, Paulie is. I forgot. I stopped listening to radio talk shows a long time ago. It's just every once in a while somebody will tell me what somebody said on a show, but everybody's going to have their opinion. They're going to play to their audience, and that's fine. I don't even really think about that too much. If you listen to that stuff, you just can't go very far.
See, there's a couple of thumbs up, by the way, for Paulie and his coming through here. Let me see. If you were, do you plan on doing any commentating for college basketball down the road whenever you happen to retire? No?
No plans.
No plans for that?
And I really doubt that I would. I've been on the road all my life. I try to figure out how many miles and hotel rooms and everything. I can't even, it's mind-boggling. And to just get out there and go on the road to cover a game. I mean, it would be interesting, but I don't think it's something I would do. And the studio thing, you have to go be there all day and be on and off. I just don't think that's something I would even think about doing right now.
Question here about Matt Gorman.
I want to work on our charity stuff. Try to still
get some
raise
fishing
money,
in a little bit.
Raise money for our foundation, help kids in this community, and get a little fishing in if I can. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
If you were commissioner of college basketball, what would be your top 3 changes?
Well, I don't know what they can do with the NIL and the transfer portal. There's nothing they can do. So there's no change there. I'd add a few teams to the NCAA tournament. Not a lot, but a few. There's not a lot more to change in the game.
So what's the absolute worst question you've ever been asked in an interview before?
I used to get upset. I never really got that upset, but I acted like I was. Questions are fine. The only thing that really bothers me if I answer, so I'll give a long answer to something, and then somebody asks me the question that I just gave the long answer to. That would tend to bother me. But I haven't gotten upset in a while. I didn't get upset this year. One kid made a little face, and I said I didn't like that. That's all it was. And one question was at the end of a press conference, and I was kind of done anyway. And I said, "Oh, I'm done." Coaches and players end press conferences all the time. It wasn't like I walked out in the first minute. I answered 10 or 12 questions before that, and but it's. I like press conferences are fine.
Favorite places to go on vacation?
I always liked Bermuda. I haven't been back there in a while. I used to ride the bikes, and I'm not sure I can ride those motorbikes now. They're a little dangerous, but I would still try it, I think. But Bermuda's a beautiful place. If you haven't been there, you need to go there. If you're younger, you got to rent a bike. You can ride around the whole island, and it's a beautiful place.
Let's see here. Getting a lot of it just comments. Congratulations on the season. One here, just thanks for doing this. I think people have been enjoying this part of it, Coach. The QSportsTalk.com to see and
there's a lot of questions, so that's good, right?
This one I think it's from Paulie. And it says It said Polly said you called him an idiot for saying the Q should be top 5 in recruiting.
Yeah, well, he probably that is true. That's a true statement. Be realistic.
Oh man, Coach, and there was a question again. They come fast, so I kind of scroll back and forth here. Someone wanted to know if you have a fishing trip planned for the summer.
I usually go up north. I fish up at the out of what is it up north?
Henderson.
Henderson. We go out into Ontario and fish for brown trout, lake trout sometimes. But I like to fish on Oneida. I fish with a guy, Gary G'day. He's a really nice guy. He's a really good bass fisherman. I like to fish with him. And now I got to learn how to fish on Skaneateles Lake. I've never fished there, so I got to learn. How
about Matt Gorman? Somebody wants to know about Matt.
Great kid.
Stay in touch. I know. I think you said earlier he's not going to be able to make it this weekend, or you don't know?
I think Matt can.
Oh, Matt's coming. Oh, okay.
I think it's Craig Forth.
Oh, okay.
Matt will be here. He's a great kid. He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy.
Will you be writing any more books?
I don't think so. Not really. One's enough. I think one's enough.
Let me see here. Somebody wants to know, is this the final Coach Boeheim show?
For this year.
Yeah, for this year. Get that right here.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, we will wrap it up here, Coach. And again, thanks to Jordan back at the station and Paulie here on site, and everybody who joined us here in the stream chat throughout the season, and Kyle and everybody here at Carrabba's and Sean and the staff all season long. Tomorrow morning on the radio, we'll talk to you at 7:40.
Yep.
And then on Saturday, I'll be up at the Dome to watch that game and cheer on the 03 team and enjoy that all those festivities this weekend. All right, everybody, thanks again. QSportsTalk.com. See you back here next year, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, see you. Thanks.
I'll be